Jackson at Song Mentor. Well, today's song was released in 1980 by AC/DC on the Back in Black album. It's a staple of their live shows. You Shook Me All Night Long is a song about spending an evening with a particularly attractive woman, probably not playing Scrabble. It was voted the top number 10 song of the top 100 songs by VH1 in 1980. And the song was used in the closing credits of late actor Heath Ledger's film A Knight's Tale. I always thought tale was spelled T-A-L-E. Anyway, here's You Shook Me All Night Long, AC/DC. Well, You Shook Me All Night Long isn't a song that has traditional chords in it, but it does have 3 chord formations that I'll show you that are integral to the song. And I'd like to call these a power G, a power C, and a power D. They have other names. This one, for example, is a D sus chord, but I'm just going to refer to them as power G, C, and D for the sake of this song. So the power G that you're going to need is basically a G chord, and I'm going to use the 2nd, 3rd, and pinky fingers to play that open G, but then the pinky is going to cover 2 strings. It's going to cover the B string at the 3rd fret and the high E string at the 3rd fret. And that chord is through the whole song. The reason I played it with the 2nd and 3rd and 4th fingers is now I'm going to switch to the power C. So all I'm really going to do there is take these 2 fingers, the 2nd and 3rd fingers, and move them down 1 string to the C chord formation. And by habit, I put my 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. You don't have to, because it doesn't sound. I just do it by habit because it's part of the C chord. So there's the power G, power C, and that's the D sus chord, and that's basically just a D chord like this, but instead of playing it, I'm adding the G note on the high E string to the D chord. Except instead of doing it this way, because I'm already in this formation with these power chords, the pinky's already covering these 2 strings. The only thing I have to add to that is my 1st finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And you want to make sure you strum the 4th open string there, because that's the root note. So power G, power C, power D, or D sus. And really those are the 3 chords you need for You Shook Me All Night Long. Alrighty, for this great rocker, we're going to show you all the guitar stuff. Later on I'm going to add some vocals. Do not expect the vocals from Mr. Johnson at AC/DC. He has a vocal range that exceeds Donald Duck, so that's not going to happen from me, but I will sing an octave lower and put some vocals in later on. Right now we're just going to focus on the 3 key guitar bits that you need to know to play this song. And the first is the intro, which is really cool. Then I'm going to show you the chop. That's played through the verses, and then finally that really cool arpeggio. Played through the singing of the choruses in the song. Alright, those are the 3 guitar parts. Let's get started with that intro for You Shook Me All Night Long. Alright, let's take a crack at this wonderful intro to this song. And we're going to start out with our 1st finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd and 2nd strings. We're going to try and flatten that out so it covers both those strings. Our 2nd finger is going to be on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And when we pick this, we're going to pick the 4th, which is an open string, the 3rd, and the 2nd. We're going to pick down. Okay. That's our 1st strum. Our 2nd strum is exactly the same, but we're going to add the pinky finger to the 10th fret of the 2nd string. And then 2 more more strokes down on the original formation. So this formation, add the 10th fret, and then pull the 10th fret off again for 2 hits down. Okay, so just to get that transition, all I'm doing is pulling off the second finger now. And then I'm sliding this down. This setup I had here with the 2 fingers and the extra finger, the second finger on the 8th fret, that's just going to slide down, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the 2nd and 3rd frets. So I slide down to that, which is essentially most of a D chord, right? Okay, the little connector is there's a pull off on the 4th string. The reason I'm keeping these fingers here so that I have them to go back up again. So I'm using my 3rd finger on the pull off. So it's bow, 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 3, 4, 3, 4. 3rd string, and then another pull off. Put it together. Okay, so it starts with that, does the little connector, and then finishes with that again. Down on the D, ready to count to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's the intro. Okay, let's take those 3 power G, power C, and power D chord formations and turn them into the chop that plays throughout the verses. Now your right hand's going to be important here, because as I play them, notice how I'm cutting the chord off. I play it. I control when that chord ends by using the palm of my hand, the heel of my hand, to mute the strings. Okay, so all we're doing here is switching back and forth and through and in and around those 3 power chords. The G first, 2 strokes on the C, okay, G, C, C, G, C, G, D. Okay, and this is going to take some practice to comfortably move these fingers around. And again, you're going to be working, coinciding, and cooperating with the right hand to mute these strings when you want that chord to stop sounding. That's the first half. The second half is just G, G, D, G, D, G, C, C, G, C, G, D, G, G, D, G, D, G. Okay, really slowly. So that's the pattern for the verses. All right, let's take a nice close look at what's happening during the chorus play. And really what we're doing here is we're cycling through G, C, D power chords and putting the arpeggio connecting notes in between. And the first time we play through it, it starts out in G. All right, let's take a look at what we're doing during the chorus section. Basically, we're going from a "You shook me all night long." If we were playing chords, they'd be "You shook me C, G, D." But we're kind of using those power chords and we're playing some arpeggio notes in between. So we're going to start like this. Pick down in the G note on the E string, and then a full strum. And then we're going to use our first and second fingers and climb a little scale here on the A string. From A to B to C, using our first and second fingers. My first finger is going to switch over to the E note on the D string. And now I can play a little trio of notes. I'm hitting down on the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, and I end up playing the C note, the E note, and the open G note. Then I lift up my second finger, my first finger goes back to the B note on the A string. I've got that 3-note arpeggio, which is, again, it's the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, and it's the B note and the open 4th and 3rd. So, and then our power D. Again. We're going to repeat that. This time we ended up at the power D. The next time we're going to end up at the power G. Okay, and putting those two pieces together. So that repeats. We'll do that one more time for you, nice and slowly. And that's what's being played during the chorus. Alright, well, let's do a playthrough. We won't play the whole song, but we'll give you everything you need, which means we'll play the intro, a verse, a double chorus, and put an ending on it. She kept her motor clean. She was the best damn woman I had ever seen. She had sightless eyes, telling me no lies, knocking me out with those American thighs, taking more than a share, had me fighting for air. She told me to come, but I was already there, 'cause the walls started shaking, the earth was quaking, my mind was aching. We were making it, and you shook me all night long. Yeah, you shook me all night long. You shook me all night long. You shook me all night long. All night long. Okay, a couple of really quick fine-tuning tips. Don't forget to vibrate that a little bit on the intro. That's what he does. And use that muting hand to cut chords when you need to in the chop part of the song. All right, there's You Shook Me All Night Long. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.